Welcome to Honest Beers. My name is Leggy, and as always, I'm joined by Walley. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Not coordinated.
You've got to have to watch and subscribe to
YouTube.
YouTube. We want to start off the top, but not only just because you can watch us in our glossy studio, but we're wearing the same outfit, and this was not planned. Jared, our producer, said, "Did you plan this?" No, we didn't. We have both. It's you described it as the Melbourne kid. We've both rolled up in
just
a navy jumper and a black North Face vest.
And the weird thing is, I was actually going to wear blue pants.
Yeah.
And just a last minute switch. So
Even wearing white sneakers as well. This is
ridiculous.
This is quite extraordinary. The colours. I didn't. We actually drove in together like we do quite often. Walley quite generously picks me up on his way through, and I didn't even notice it because it was dark. Like it was still not quite light. It's early in the morning. It's Tuesday, and then we parked the car and got out, and all of a sudden I saw some light, and I thought, oh fuck, we're wearing the same kit.
It is what it is. We're going to go with it.
Yeah, so definitely subscribe and watch on YouTube so you can look at this.
The ridiculousness.
Olivia, our other producer, will be happy that I mentioned that because we don't say it enough. But we're back doing another episode like this, which is good. Our normal episode, had a couple of weeks off, bit of footy stuff, back in the studio.
We're getting back to our roots, aren't we?
Back to our roots.
You can expect us to go back. We got some old segments back and
yeah. But how's the week been? Because we didn't cover. We obviously did our footy review. If you haven't listened to that, listen to that from yesterday. It's still somewhat relevant, but we didn't see each other at all over the weekend. What did you get up to? I know that there was maybe a potentially big moment happening in your life.
So we went to an auction, a house auction.
Yes.
Which we did. Just off the bat, we didn't get it. It was and I think okay with not getting it.
Okay,
mate. These are just auctions now. It's ridiculous. So I've learned a few things from auctions, which are probably no surprise to anybody. Mate, it doesn't matter how many honest chats you have with a real estate agent prior, you have no idea how many people are going to be able to, whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll all be different. Some might have the tactic to tell you there's not many. Some might have the tactic to tell you there's a lot.
Yep.
You're in their hands completely. Like it's funny because you always complain with the range and that when you're buying a house, how frustrating it is. But then when you're selling a house, you're trying to do one thing. Push it up. You're trying to just sell. So everyone, with two sides of the market. I'm fine with that. A house does not go in its range.
Never.
So this is the thing. So your range will usually be a range of 100, depending 50 or 100 or 2. It's usually the range is usually, I've worked out about 10%. So if you're looking at a house for 700, the range might be 700 to 770. If it's 1.5, it might be 1.5 to 1650. So it's about it. I think that's what it is. There's no rules around. It just needs to be realistic. And then who's managing that, right? So the first thing, you're just waiting for it's going to go out of the range. It's straight out of the range. Done. Bang. It's out of the range. No dramas there.
You're prepared for it. Yeah.
And then it's like how close within this range you're actually going to get it. If you get it within a couple of percent, fantastic.
Yep.
If you're looking for a house, just put 10% on that range and you might be safe. There was another one nearby that we just had our eyes on. But we were like, no, we're not going to be getting it because it was a big block. I reckon it was overpriced, but it was also like, you're going to have to do work to this house and just no interest. It went for hundreds of thousands of dollars over the range.
Wow.
Hundreds. I mean, I had a look. It was like, I think it worked out, it was nearly 20% over the top of the range. Just because we had friends that were at the auction looking at it and doing it. But mate, the whole thing's cooked. The other thing is what I did notice this time, and I a little bit enjoyed it, is the betting strategies of people. So we had an old dude that was like a bit of he looked like a stalwart. He had a sort of smirk the whole time. He had his sunnies on.
Sunnies is a power move.
Yeah, and I'm thinking kids are a sort of bloke that he just looked like. He goes and has beers with his boys at the pub, his sons at the pub, and he may even have a grandchild or two, and everyone's sort of like, they're probably downsized or whatever. And I was watching him, and just his strategy was sort of like smirking and laughing and just having a chat every time. And he's fine. I was like, and he got it. I was happy he got it. Then you had the other younger couple. You could see one of the guys a bit nervous.
A bit antsy.
Went to put his hand up once, and they missed it.
Oh.
And I felt for this dude. So he didn't get to make a bid, and then they look at the other one, and then there was one of the other parties goes in and you can tell it already gone over his max and he's just a bit flat. I'm like, he's come to an auction, he would have been pumped up, he would have been talking strategy all morning. Where a chance.
And that just gets blown
bang,
out.
Done it. It's happened to me before where I've gone in, I've bid, and somebody just threw 100K on top of it instantly. I was just out.
Yeah. Oh,
this guy unfortunately didn't get bid. But anyway, the whole thing is a fucking circus, and hopefully I can find a house private sale because
you always know. I mean, with an auction, especially with the market at the moment, you're always going to go slightly above. I think everything I've looked at, and I haven't even been looking seriously to buy. I just like to see the market. Everything I've looked at, and I've gone, oh, that's probably a good price. And then you see the next, like, you don't go to the auction, you wait till the Monday or the Tuesday, you see the price, and you're like, oh, that's gone 300-400K over.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about you, mate? How's your week been?
My week was good. We're going to talk about later on, but I have started a sober month. I like to do this once a year. June is the one that I picked, which we'll talk about.
We'll talk about that. I've got a little something for you to do.
I'm on day 3 and I haven't deviated yet.
Good work.
Went to the pub last night actually to have dinner for friend of the show, Stuart McSwain's 30th birthday. Nice. Didn't have a drink. Wow. Just stuck to a Coke Zero. It wasn't Monday night, granted, but it's still a 30th. So I didn't have a drink then, but the last day of May, so May 31 on Saturday, I did have a winery lunch for a birthday, which was really good. Little bus tour down to Yarra Valley. It was nice, bit of food, bit of wine, some tastings. Kept it pretty well disciplined though. Home early, but that was good. And then, well, we spoke about it a little bit on our footy review, but just a chill Sunday watching the Saints have a rare win, rare win on the road as well. So we'll definitely take that, but. Off the back of sort of, getting back into the show, we were talking about we wanted to, discuss this auction because we knew it was coming and how it was going to go. And then I said I was going to throw at you, Michael. I was going to throw something at you, a news story that perhaps you hadn't seen.
Yeah, that was right. Now, you were going because we used to go to the news a lot. I
was going to throw something at you.
And just because we're now with news, we don't want to neglect the news.
No, of course.
So what do you got for me?
Well, no, I've actually had to pivot. Something else came across my desk over the last 24 hours. I reckon a lot of people listening to this show that have seen it would be going, come on, Leggy, ask him about it.
Oh, I know what it is.
Walley was picked yesterday and announced on social media, on the Marmalade channels, as joining the Div 12 Resi State of Origin game.
Yes, I am.
Playing for the All-Stars.
Yes.
My first question is this a paid gig, Michael?
No, of course not.
Okay,
no, it's an honour to be invited.
Okay.
Like, it's
some of the names that you're going to be lining up against or with, you've got like of recent times, like Charlie Dixon, Hamish Hart.
He's in the All-Stars because he was born in
just
Cairns.
as well, because I'd be worried about Charlie Dixon running through you. A lot of content creators. I don't know who Roaming Has is, but it looks like he could be a Hawks fan. Connor Rogers, Goxie's going to be there as well, which is obviously huge. Kind of sort of semi-half friend of the show, Tommy Flanagan is going to be there as well. Flanners, who's been asking him to come on Honest Beers quite a lot, and we've just never accepted it. Some guy called Andrew Hayes, who apparently used to play for Sydney and maybe a Nova post in Adelaide. Obviously, the Marmalade boys are going to be there, which is huge. Is that... Oh, it's a Street Talk with Fev, so I'm just looking at their page to see. Who's JP Drake? Should I know who that is? He's going to be playing. Looks like Ray Chamberlain. Jarrah Davis, who's doing some good stuff with Fox Footy. Matt Broadbent as well.
Yeah.
One of the best kicks back in the day. Mitch Grigg, who I
Our
remember
man
from the
Tommy
Crows.
Jonas played last year.
He did. I don't know. Wonder if they'll announce. And there's going to be more players.
Would he maybe not be able to just because I think...
He'd probably take it too seriously, TJ, I reckon.
Well, aren't Port playing on Saturday night and he's involved with the club, so he's probably got to be with the...
It's this week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Port's interstate. So is he travelling with the team?
I'm not sure. Can you talk me through your itinerary? When do you fly up? What's the go?
I'm going Saturday.
Okay.
Like Arvo.
Okay.
And I fly home Sunday.
Okay, so it's a quick in and out job.
Yeah, so I fly in Saturday, go get a feed.
Yep.
Guzman Gomez, pre-match.
Yeah.
GYG, I would have thought. Hotel check-in.
Which hotel?
I actually don't know. It's just one. It's okay. I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of the ones on the that Northern Terrace thing. It's opposite the Cass. Oh. So I couldn't stay at the Cass. So it's opposite the Cass. Let's be honest.
Twice in 8 weeks.
It's one of those. It's one of those ones, but I honestly can't remember. It's one of the apartment ones. Anyway, it's one night. I'm in there. I'm out. And then, so I'll go play, do a soft tissue or
Well, we're
kick a couple of behinds, and then yeah.
Well, we're going to go through it later on. You got a time capsule, and it's kind of relevant. To
I have.
This. So we'll go into more detail about injuries, but
we'll talk a bit more about the game.
But to know more about the preparation.
We'll get into it.
Because it caught me off guard that it was this week. Because I'm like, King's birthday's not this weekend, but it's this weekend.
Snuck up, yeah.
Which is obviously huge. Mitch Robinson's playing.
Yep.
He's a psycho.
Yeah, I believe he's in that team.
He almost looks better now than he did when he was playing. Like he's fit. He's doing some sort of boxing or some type of operation. Callum Ferguson's in there.
Yeah,
well, your
Cal,
man.
Mates with Cal.
Mark Cosgrove. Like there's a lot of cricketers, which is interesting. But going to be huge.
I'll be in my element there.
Is it broadcast in any?
It'll be live streamed, 100%.
Okay. Well, I'll be tuning in.
Big numbers.
What time's the first bounce?
6:30, I believe. 7 o'clock Victorian time.
Of course.
Half an hour.
Will KP be watching with a bit of?
She won't watch.
You reckon?
I don't think
I reckon she'll be watching.
She might watch.
I reckon she'll be sitting at home with a glass of Pinot going, I'm in a much better position right now than you are running around with fucking Mitch Robinson and fucking Charlie Dixon. There's some big names. Congrats to Checkers and the Marmalade guys for pulling that together.
I'm well aware I'm out of my depth.
Yeah. Who do you reckon's, I know we can't set markets anymore with this sort of stuff, but surely Sportsbet would be setting a market for who gets more disposals.
We're requesting it. So we're just getting confirmation that Premier Data will be covering it. Once we do get confirmation of that, we are requesting a.
There's a lot of GST on some of the Premier Data stuff. If you look at the Marmalade stats every week,
I'm fine as long as there's GST on mine or both of us. We're fine as long as it's just not on Funners.
Will we be able to bet on it? Or?
We're hoping so.
Okay. What would be your over under goal line?
Half.
Yeah.
A goal.
And use that
if I could get one.
So I was going to say 1.5. Like, I'd back you for 2. I just reckon it's going to be one of those games where Charlie Dixon
couple
and you
of JJ's over the top.
Yeah. Shout out to Josh Jenkins. I reckon Charlie Dixon and you in the forward line are going to bond randomly, and I reckon he's going to see you get over the back, and he's going to try. Just Charlie Dixon doesn't need to kick a bag in this game. He's kicked bags at AFL level. He doesn't need it.
I don't know. But the other thing is, I said, do you just want to line up off half back and get cheapies? Because you don't. It's just that's the other option.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'll pay what they pay me. Hopefully for minimal game time.
Yeah,
I just want to be involved and then bulk beers afterwards.
Over under disposal line.
Oh, it's not. It's
3.5.
Yeah, maybe. If I could touch the ball one time a quarter, that'd be a win.
Yeah.
I don't know how these games go. I don't know how many people take it seriously. I don't know how many. Yeah, I'm really not sure how they go.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the games work.
I think it'll feel a bit more exhibition-y. There won't be a lot of pressure.
Well, if it's exhibition, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah.
Who's the coach? I haven't seen. Is the coach has been named?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
No. It's all. We'll find out more when we get there.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, yeah. We'll make sure we tune in. I'm sure the Honest Beers will post something or we'll somehow alert people.
Oh, we'll be involved.
If you can't find it on the internets, we'll let you know. Moving on.
We got a shout out in the post too, Honest Beers. They said they're looking for me to kick some honest goals.
Did they? Yeah, it's good by them.
Nothing honest about the way
I don't reckon there'll be many. Right now. I don't reckon there'll be any. I don't reckon there'll be any honest goals. Let me tell you. Moving on. Irrational and Rational Gripes is back.
Love it.
I reckon, again, I think a lot of these are normally pretty rational. And this is very niche, but of late, so where I work, I don't need to give away the exact sort of location, but a lot of small side streets. Must admit, a lot of people zip past in their cars, which pisses me off. This isn't the gripe, but just zipping past to get to the freeway. I reckon I've never nearly been hit as a pedestrian more in the last 6 months. Walking around this area, which might sound extraordinary, but I know your beautiful wife Kylie's about to enter the area, so need to.
She's a lead foot, mate.
Yeah, well,
so I apologise.
I might be in trouble. But how do you go? Is this rational? I struggle with it. So I'm a bit of a cruiser when I walk. I wouldn't say that I walk necessarily with a heap of pace, because I don't really need to. Like I'm on a lunch break, or I'm getting a coffee, or I'm walking towards the office. I'm not speeding. I really battle with people that, because the footpaths are really narrow, they walk super close to me, like to the point where I'm looking back. You're almost looking back to be like, "Are you right, mate?" And they keep walking like a meter behind you. I can't deal with it to the point where I walk across the road to get
I've
away from them and start power walking.
Do you know what I do? Do you know another?
Well, how do you get away from them?
Another move is this. Is you just stop and you go.
Oh,
go past.
So I haven't tried that one before.
Yeah, it's a good one. And they'll be like, oh. And I go, yeah, no, you go.
See,
I'm not in any rush.
What I normally do is I try and walk across the other side of the road because I just want to.
Yeah, but then one of these cars might hit you.
Well, yeah,
so this is the problem.
That has nearly happened. No, that's one.
The other one, because have you noticed that like some people choose to walk fast? They don't need to, but there is a theory that walking a bit faster makes you look a little bit more important
and purposeful.
Yeah. But I would argue that if you're important enough, people will wait.
I agree.
As John Travolta once said in the movie, I think it was Get Shorty.
You're walking fast because you're late to something, which makes you look like you're disorganized.
You're disorganized. If you are actually important, there is no scenario in which you should ever be walking quickly.
Well, so I wouldn't say that I walk fast or I walk slow. I think it's just a happy medium at a regular pace. But I'm battling with it, and I'm gonna try.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm gonna try.
And people get embarrassed by it because it's just basically saying you're too close. I don't want to do this. I'm just like, no, go.
So,
and it works if you say something or if you just go. You stop because they wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the minute you start walking again, I wish I could see their face to be like, fuck.
That's good.
I was too close to that person.
I think we agree it's rational, but it's more that you've given me it now as something to do to try and fix it, which I appreciate.
It's very rational.
And I'm going to do it quite.
Mate, I'll tell you right now, I struggle. People that do not have any awareness or respect for other people's personal space does my head in. It is one of the worst things.
I agree. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it more. And I'm thinking
it's up there with not washing your hands after you go to the toilet.
Who doesn't do that though?
Are you kidding me? How many times do you go to a pub and people just walk out?
Do you know what I saw the other day? I saw someone in a public bathroom washing their hands and then like putting the water into them, like kind of like that with their hands.
Do we know that they haven't just come in to get a drink? And like,
but there's got to be other places to get a drink. And this was someone in like business attire, like they.
Where were they? What was the venue?
It was at.
What was the place? Was it
the Botanic Gardens? There's like a like near the cafe. There's like a little. It's like quite. It's quite.
Sure, you could get a cup of water at
the
cafe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Prefer to drink it out of my hands.
It's just I don't know. Odd. There's some odd characters out there. Some odd units. That washing their hands thing. Though, surely people wash their hands. That's
next time you go to the pub. I'm not saying to stalk people into there, but just
stand around the toilet for a bit.
Just when each time you go, just notice. I guarantee you.
Wow.
It just happens. People don't wash their hands. Yeah. They did a study like 20 plus years ago of a bowl of mixed nuts on a bar somewhere, and they found 11 different types of urine in it.
Oh.
I don't know if that's an urban myth, but yeah.
Oh, wow.
Remember they used to have all the bar snacks? Yeah. I remember that was like 20, 25 years ago. I remember reading about it.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't, like, I can understand if people in Irrational have done is touch themselves and there's no urine contact and they might not wash their hands. It's still a bit gross, but whatever. But if you're actually getting urine on your hands and not washing your hands.
I reckon it was kind of made up, but to make a point. But I remember it a long time ago. I don't know the truth to it.
I'm glad that that gripe has spun off into where this is.
I'll tell you what, if
the territories that we're getting into.
If you drop a deuce, if you do a 2 and don't wash your hands, you're a sick puppy.
Yeah, there's more.
Just because the fact is you're every chance of getting sick later.
Oh, I'd say you've got bigger problems than that if that's something that you do calmly. There's probably, I wouldn't want to follow that person home. So moving on, I'm looking at the rundown and we do have a rundown, believe it or not. Normally, I filled it out originally as Simon's choice, but you've come in, Wallley, and made a few amendments, and there's a cross through my name, and it is now Wally's choice.
Wally's choice.
Can you tell me what's going on here?
100% I can, Simon. I'm very happy to say. So, in June, you are having no drinks for the month.
I am. 3 days
you
in.
said last week you'd be happy to do something else. And I said, well, why don't I come up with something that I'll set you for the month that you're going to have to do over the month.
Yep.
And then at the end of the month, you feel like you achieved something. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, the first thing I looked at was he's not drinking, so obviously he doesn't want to have any fun this month. So we need to find something that's not too overexciting. Okay. We don't want him nothing too engaging, nothing that's going to get him his heart rate up too much. Because you'll do your gym and your health and fitness. That's all fine. That's good. That's healthy. I'm talking about like your pastime, your hobby, the other time you're going to spend. Yeah.
You asking me to bet more?
No, well, the betting's fine, but that again, betting's not. It's just a part of life. You just betting's just your day to day. You get up, you go, okay, cool. I'm gonna brush my teeth, have a shower, get dressed, put a couple of bets on, go some lunch, couple of bets on, do my work, couple of bets on. So that's just neither here nor there. That wouldn't change. You don't stop eating in June. Why would you stop betting? But what we wanted to do,
very good.
Me and the community wanted to make sure we had something for you to do and something positive. So. I didn't bring this in because of the simple fact that I didn't want you to have to take it to the office because you go to the office after this. So I took a photo of this is what's happening. Jared, can we get the photo up, please, here? That is a couple of balls of yarn in Honest Beer's colours.
Wow.
And there it's a set of knitting needles. Now, that yarn recommends a 4 to 5. They're a 4.5 knitting needle. So I've done a bit of research on this. You best familiarise yourself with some of the terms and all of that. You, my friend, there is enough there to knit a couple of rather lengthy Honest Beer's scarves for us. Look, I'm not suggesting it's going to be easy. I'm not suggesting it's going to be fun. But you were the one that decided that you would...
I thought you'd give me something like...
There was no way.
I don't know, like some cooking challenges. Like every week I had to cook like a different dish that you'd ask me to cook. No.
Cooking's fun. No, you want to have a month that's really... You should have seen this story I had to tell to get the woman at the yarn shop to sell me serious stuff.
Oh, what'd you have to say?
I was just like, I got a friend and they're never knitted and they're taking out, what are they doing? And then eventually, after I'd secured I go, listen, I'll be honest with you. I go, I got a podcast, my co-host, he's giving me up drinking for the month, so I wanted to set him up with something. And he will not want to do this. And then she actually laughed. She goes, that's really funny. I'm like,
it is funny for everyone but me.
I got some words for you. Okay. Cast on. That's the first thing you got to know.
Okay.
That's the way you get stitches onto the needle to start your project. Your project, of course, is Honest Beer's coloured scarves.
I'm going to be YouTubing the shit out of this.
And the translation is, and when you put into ChatGPT, tell me about it, they have some funny like things. Oh no, what am I doing? Moment. That's that moment of your knitting journey. This has got real like,
What if I love it?
Oh, you knit yourself a cat jumper or something after it. Knit stitch. Well, that's pretty obvious.
My mum's good at knitting. Maybe I'll ask her for some tips.
Yeah, there you go. A pearl stitch.
Okay.
It's the opposite of a knit stitch, so you'll need to learn about that. The bind off, of course, or cast off.
Yeah.
Which is the that's ending your work. Tension, yarn over. You'll be doing a bit of that. Stitch. Frogging. You don't want to be frogging.
Okay.
So frogging is...
What's frogging?
It's you're gonna love this. It's called that because you rip it. And this is actually this is fucking loony. This is real. I don't want to anger the knitting community.
Am I going to get big in the knitting community? Is this going to officially become a knitting podcast?
I don't know if they would have the device or channels to.
Do you reckon they consume digital? Yeah,
I don't know how many. Well, you'll see. Do you know what you do? Your first YouTube knitting tutorial you watch, you jump in the comments and go, "Hey fam, how are you all feeling today?" Hopefully no frogging going on. So frogging basically means that if you break it or rip the thing anyway. This is just doing my head in reading it.
Yeah, okay.
So you are going to they did say to me, they were like, you don't want to start, don't be too. Their recommendation is to do it almost like a footy scarf, where you do a patch of green, then a patch of white, then a patch of green. Okay. If you start trying to intertwine, you're going to...
See, I thought intertwining straight away, but then, I don't want to frog.
So you're going to... This isn't not. So you're going to have a crack, and at the end of the month, we'll see.
It's going to be pretty bad, but
I'm hoping that we can wear them to the Saints-Hawks game together.
Look, I'm up... Oh, yeah. That would be...
I had it with the end product, the scarf end product.
So you can definitely make 2 out of that.
Yeah. Okay. There'd be 2 probably...
Oh, shit. Okay.
Like a little over a metre.
Well,
if not, you
I'll give it a red hot. I will. I'm not happy about it. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and go, "This is a great challenge." But I'll give it a red hot crack. And
I haven't had a drink in my house between Monday and Thursday this year, Simon. So let's just not forget that.
Yeah, it's true.
Except for the one night I rang you. The 2 exceptions were the night I rang you.
2 exceptions.
The 2 exceptions. One night I rang you on the opening round of footy.
Yes.
And I had a vino when I got home from the Geelong Hawks Easter Monday game, but that's
it's a public holiday. Yeah, well, public holiday this Monday as well.
That's it. Didn't even have it at the family dinner we had over. So I figure that this is
wow, I'm getting swoofed. All right, well, look, I'll give it a red hot crack. No guarantees it's going to be any good, and we'll keep the community updated on that one. That is for sure. We're splitting a sixer, but we're not going to do splitting a sixer.
What we're going to do, splitting a sixer, is where I talk about
that's next week. We're going
to do people that I want to have a beer with, and we're announcing this. So I'm going over
next week
for the Div 12 Resis match, and I'm going to come back with the splitting a sixer, which is the 5 people that I played with or involved in the game that I would most want to split a sixer with. With good reason.
Great. But now this week we are going to do a time capsule.
We are. So what I thought, Leggy, is I've done playing local sport time capsule before, and I've spoken a lot of the things I do. I design to have Jack in mind for the future. So the idea is we clip these up, we put them on a in the cloud, I guess, and then when Jack's older, he'll be able to watch them all when he's 18 or 19 or 20 or even older. He'll be able to watch these and have guidance in life, and that's the idea of the time capsule. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to talk to something in a mini time capsule, something quite specific around what is happening this weekend with Div 12 Resis. And that is playing sport, competitive level of sport when you're too old or you're cooked. And you probably shouldn't be playing it. So the first rule, don't play contact sport. So I've completely and utterly fucked that. So I have Jack, I'm breaking my own first rule. If you are taking up sport when it's well past your prime to be taking up sport, don't take up a contact sport. We've spoken before about cricket, and I'll just reiterate here. Cricket's the perfect sport, and I'll explain why. People go, oh, you want to sit out in the sun for 6 hours? You want to? No, you got it all wrong. You play one-day cricket. It's 40 overs, 40 overs. The 40 overs you are bowling, just bowl. Like whatever club you go to, go a bowl. And if you can't bowl, who gives a shit? I don't know if you play local cricket, no one can bowl. So you got a little bit of bowling in there, but then the rest of the time, spend talking shit with your mates, watching the races on your phone, all of that sort of stuff out in the field. You're just hanging out with mates in a park. So that's all fine. When you're batting, put your hand up and go, I can't bat. I'll bat at 11. So then that way you can spend the entire innings. Half the time, if your team's any good, you probably won't need to bat. The other half of the time, you come in, you go out, and you go back. You just spend your times on the side with, well, let's be honest, there'll be a couple of umpires and that, probably 7, 8 mates, talking shit, betting on the races. It's absolutely perfect. Jump on the scorebook straight away so you can avoid going to square leg as the umpire. So cricket is the perfect one. Then, of course, there's the post-match drinks that you have to have. This is... to be very few, any wives, girlfriends, or husbands, boyfriends, partners of a cricketer that haven't played cricket, you probably don't understand this, but part of the actual game, and it goes into the scorebook, you have to go into the rooms with the other team and have some beers and then stay back. We don't make the rules. It has to happen. So you do enjoy that. You're out of the house for 9-10 hours. It's a long day, I know, but cricket's worth it. So stay away from that. Okay. The next thing for this, Jack, is look at basketball. Basketball is a new one. I've just started playing pickup basketball league. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. A little bit more prone to injury, but it's another one where you can be selfless by spending a lot of time on the bench and just come on in bursts, run hard, and then just go back to the bench. And it's selfless, but gets you out of the house. And again, post-match beers, what we do for that, because it's a little different. You're playing in different locations. We have an esky in one of the cars, and we have car park beers after the game.
Patto does that too.
Great. It is absolutely perfect. That's a good one. But in terms of how you get involved in these things, what you need to do, Jack, and this is advice to anybody, if you are going to play organised sport, social sport, competitive sport, whatever it is, and you are older, and especially when you're a dad, and you're all in, don't be the one that volunteers to do any of it. Suggest it, put it out there. I'm in that boat at the moment. I'm doing all the organisation. I'm okay with it, but for basketball, but like you want to be the guy that goes, hey, we should play. Hey, you'd be good at that.
Yeah.
Mate, you'd have to be our coach, right? You'd have to be the skipper.
Yeah. You'd have to be.
You'd have to be. You pump someone else up. you know what? Being running it or being a team manager or a coach sounds good for about 2 fucking minutes.
No,
and then
no one wants
it's
that.
absolute roll. So make sure you're not doing that. Someone else can do the work. But same token, make sure you're always the one, mate. I know we joke about it in local cricket, but pay your match fees, pay your subs, get it in first, because if you are the one that's never chased by the coach or the captain or the team manager, you are the last one they're going to come to for the shit jobs that you have to do. True. So if you're the last one, it's going to be like, listen, go out of square leg. No, you go. Well, at least I paid my subs, mate.
Yeah.
So I'm saying my after years of chasing subs, my priorities have shifted there. And lastly, I spoke about it earlier, whatever sport you play, Jackie, make sure there's post beers involved.
It has to be.
That is the
reason you play.
Major reason I'm going to Adelaide, because there is going to be an opportunity to have post-match beers with a lot of fun people. It's going to be a laugh, and I can't wait.
Yep.
But yeah, so that is a nice little short, sharp time capsule when it comes to playing organised / competitive sport when you're too old to be doing it. But it's all around the Marmalade game. I'm excited. I'm
looking forward to this splitting a sixer next week when you tell me who the best players were on the lash.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
We can all assume who we think might be, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it will be good. And look, man, there's a lot of water to go under the bridge. I've got very serious preparation in the coming days.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go to Thursday night. I'll go to the Hawks Doggies game.
Yep.
Dozen skewies there to start it and a meal. And then after, so Jars at that game, we might knock off work a little early actually and go for a long lunch into that. Carb load from Thursday. Yep. Friday, I'll probably just have a couple of jamos on the couch. I'm not going to go too nuts on Friday.
Yep.
So Saturday, get up, fly in, get in there, getting into Adelaide at like 2 o'clock. There's no room for error.
No.
GYG.
No flight.
So I'll get GYG on the way to the airport in Melbourne, and then I'll have GYG because every athlete goes, I have chicken and rice and veggies. GYG.
Yeah,
in a burrito.
Yep.
So I'll have another burrito when I get to Adelaide. Let that settle. I don't know. Then go to the hotel. Maybe do an ice bath. Mate, I'll go to the hotel.
Bit of private time in the hotel.
Yeah, just watch some footy. Back the quaddy.
iPad.
Do all that, and then I'll go to the game, embarrass myself, and then beers, and then home. It is proper flying fight areas. I'm in Adelaide for less than 24 hours.
Yeah, wow.
And then there'll be a little bit of casino time in there.
And I imagine some beers on Sunday when you get back as well. I would have thought.
Well, you have to celebrate.
Yeah.
And then we've got Monday off. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Looking forward to it.
Hopefully Jack took a lot out of that. Basically...
Mate, the bottom line is this. Do not play contact sport when you're too old to. Play cricket or basketball and drink a heap of piss afterwards.
It's pretty good.
Simple.
Honestly, this is back, but we've changed it.
We're combining
So
this week. Just because it was actually hard.
Well, so the inspiration for this was, I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks ago or a week. So it was last week, actually. Kane Corns, really, really good friend of the show. He... on SEN spoke about the most overrated sporting events. It was in line with Origin.
Just overrated things in sport total.
Yeah, things in sport. Sorry, not sporting events. Things in sport. In line with Origin being on, and quite ridiculously had State of Origin number 2. And so we thought, you know what, we're going to change it up a little bit here, and we're going to go the underrated ones. Where we're
positive.
We're going to go positive because we're positive, but it was actually really hard because you can't say that you're not going to. Yeah, the AFL Grand Final is really good. We're not going to talk about that. So
the US Masters is not underrated.
Yeah, finding 10 between
each.
2 of us, 5 each is really hard. So we managed to find 5,
and they're a stretch. But we wanted to try and add some positivity to this. I reckon if we go, what are 10 underrated things in sport, we'd be able to do.
Little like aspects
so
of it.
So we might look at that. We might do this as a series.
Yeah. But you're going to go first, opening the batting.
Yeah, so I'm going one, and hear me out. I've looked at the first one I've thought event to go to, because that is important as well. There's events that you watch, event to go to. Hong Kong Rugby Sevens.
Yeah, I've heard it's great.
Now, there'll be some people going, it's not underrated. Yeah, well, it is, because nobody knows about it outside of a small group of people. Yeah. A lot of people don't know. The mass market does know about this. Yes, I know you have to watch Rugby Sevens. Yep. I know that's it. But the party itself is worth it.
Yep.
The good thing about Rugby Sevens is it's 7 people versus 7 people on a field. So there's a lot of scoring.
Yeah,
it's shorter format, so the games rotate a lot. There's a heap of teams, so you get a variety. It is a proper, think darts, like in terms of fancy dress and a party at a stadium. There's live sport going on. It's almost like Magic Round is to the NRL. Again, Magic Round is heavily rated, so there's no one's underrating that. But I think that this would be one of the most spectacular sporting events to attend, and that's why. And nobody's really going there.
Yep.
Like you would have to search your phone contacts to find a handful of people that have gone there. It would take you. You probably don't.
Yep.
So that's why I'm saying it's underrated.
I like that. I'm continuing with number 4 is a similar theme. It's from the same code.
Rugby.
It's the British and Irish Lions tour.
Yeah.
I'm saying specifically in Australia because I can't speak about it anywhere else. But it's been like 12, 13 years since these guys came out. It's always a massive tour. It's played across 6 cities. They actually sell games out, so people want to go to this event. But the other thing as well, which I think is always one of the good things about it, and it probably is an encapsulation of the Brits, but speaking with cricket as well, but they fly over for it. They create this atmosphere where it's a little bit combative.
Mate,
there's chants.
The crowd's red.
The crowd is red.
The crowd is red. It's not.
I think
red
they're anticipating
and gold.
40,000 are going to come over this year for it. It's
insane.
It's in July this year. I think they're anticipating that there could be 40 to 50,000 coming over. Plus, there's a number of bloody Brits and Irish that live over here, as we know. Anyway, they just go to fucking St Kilda, and you'll see most of them. But I think it's a really good event. It actually puts rugby on the map. I'll be watching it. I don't really know much about rugby anymore, but I'll still be watching it. And I reckon it'll be a nice little injection for the sport. And it'll come at a time where it's going to compete with AFL and NRL, but I guarantee you there'll be packed stadiums and plenty of interest in it.
Was it 13? It was 2013. Yep. Okay, so 2013, I was lucky enough to go.
Yeah, I know.
I went to the
Marvel one.
The Marvel one. Yep. And I also went to watch them play the Rebels at Amy Park, which was, they absolutely smashed them.
Yeah.
But it was cool because it was like boutique stadium, 31,000 or whatever, and a heap of people. But I went to Marvel, and I'm saying this to this day. That is the drunkest crowd I've ever been a part of. And I did my bit. The crowd was swaying.
Yeah.
It was another world. It is an absolute festival. And I agree. It's one of those ones because it isn't, again, if you said, and this is what we're saying, we're not saying that it's not rated by the English and Irish. What we're saying, or the British and Irish, sorry, we're saying, if you went to your phone group, good luck finding 5-10 people that have been to one.
Yeah.
And you have to get involved, and it's awesome.
Next up is you.
Next up is me. I'll go to my list. Next up is me. Sorry, I had to... Yep. So, this is an overarching sport. This is an overarching sport that I think isn't getting... yet noticed the way it should be, and that's the NBL.
Yep.
The NBL, I know a lot of people are cottoning onto it and going, it's good. The NBL is now, we were talking about this before we went on. We think it may be number 3 in the world behind the NBA and the Euro League.
Yeah, number 3 basketball league, yep.
Which is insane. Yep. The other thing is the players that we're producing we've had multiple top 5 draft picks.
Yep.
We're having players that are coming out here, extending their careers and starting their careers off the back of it. We have players like Daly and that coming back and wanting to play in this league and play competitively and not just being a token player.
Yep.
Like this is the product.
The crowds
itself,
as well. They're filling out stadiums. It's a family-friendly sport.
It's amazing. The NBL, go to the NBL. If you have not been to the NBL, go to the NBL. It is 1,000% behind AFL and NRL. It is the second best code in this country at the moment.
Wow. It probably is.
What's better? It's not A-League.
No.
It's definitely not the Big Bash, mate. It's the NBL.
Shout out to the A-League, though, for being front page news with all the flare attacks and everything. Shout out to them. Just do that every time. Keep yourself relevant.
I don't reckon it was that bad.
It was a massive storm in a teacup.
Yeah,
Shout out to the A-League, though.
Good on A-League.
I should be...
Embrace that shit.
Embrace it. Shout out. But no, I agree with you.
Do you notice that when Richmond fans did that after they won in 17, it was funny, beautiful. It was beautiful. And now when A-League fans do it, it's like, oh, well, the cops and all that. So fucking give them a break, man.
I'd be more worried about the machete attacks in Australia and what's going on.
A-League, celebrating with flares.
The inability of any government or police officers to
don't even. We're going to go down. We're going to go down.
No, some fucking
a political rabbit hole. We could go down, and it would just be grim.
It would be.
So we won't. But I will say this: speaking about basketball in EuroLeague, they let off the flares in basketball games inside,
and it looks amazing.
Roofed stadium
in Eastern Europe. It looks amazing,
crazy. Yeah. So the point is that the NBL is absolutely fine, and I think I've got number 2 as well. This is an interesting one. Any NFL fans will just go this spot on. Conference championships are underrated behind the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is corporate. It's often can be one-sided. It's a NFC versus an AFC team, so there's rarely any rivalry there. It's hard for regular fans to get tickets. It's all about the show and the entertainment. It's a TV product.
Yep.
Conference championship games are stadiums, tens of thousands of fans stacked in that are passionate about their team.
Yep.
That's where the fans are. The games are immense. There's often rivalries because they're playing in the same conference. It is absolutely...
It's the best weekend.
A divisional rivalry can take place in a conference championship. It cannot take place in a Super Bowl. So they are amazing. It's not that people don't rate them. It's that everyone talks about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Conference championship weekend is better than Super Bowl.
Totally.
I've been to the Super Bowl twice now. The first time I went was Super Bowl 50 in San Fran.
Yep.
And the week party leading up was better than the Super Bowl. The halftime show was better than the game.
Yeah.
All of that. And then I went to maybe the worst Super Bowl of all time, which was, but the Pats won, so that was different.
You're right. What you're saying is right. It's the actual game itself is better, not more often than not.
The games are better.
Yeah, agreed.
The games are better than the Super Bowl. The atmosphere in those stadiums is far. Mate, the atmosphere at a prelim at the MCG is better than the atmosphere at a grand final, unless you get the big close games.
Yeah.
So, because then everyone gets involved.
Yeah.
But in the prelims, Richmond won 17 comfortably against the Giants.
19 was Giants.
No, I'm talking about the prelim.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it was. Yeah, 90 points.
They won the prelim by about seven goals.
Oh, that's right.
But
I'm thinking
the
about
crowd was as loud because it was 95,000 Richmond
fans. No corporates. Yep. Well,
find me a one-sided grand final where the crowd's still into it. It doesn't happen.
No.
Last year was only 2 goals more than that, and it was whatever.
It was dead at half
So,
time.
my point is that
good, agreed.
The crowd, the fan-heavy crowds are better. Conference championship weekend better than Super Bowl.
Well, I'm following off with the better thing. It's not that I think that this needs to be promoted as in it's underrated, but obviously Kane had it as number 2, which is extraordinary. But I think State of Origin is better.
It's underrated.
It's underrated, and it's become underrated, and it's better than the NRL Grand Final. It's actually better than their Grand Final. I couldn't actually tell you the last 5 NRL Grand Finals what's happened. I could tell you a lot about the State of Origin in the last 5 years.
Won them all, didn't they?
Probably did, but I can't remember what happened.
They're just Penrith and Storm just doing things,
just interchanging. But I think it's like for basically 2 months of the year, because it's May through to July now.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's physical. Yeah, look, you can argue that game 1 was a fizzer and it was a bit shit, but that's okay. You're allowed to have it.
Can I ask you a question? When do NRL fans proactively want to join into the AFL season and watch a game? They don't.
They don't.
When do AFL fans actively want to join the NRL season and watch a game? It's Origin.
Yeah.
AFL fans watch Origin. NRL fans don't watch any AFL.
Yeah.
I'm talking about co-fans. We've got a lot of friends, like friends of the show, Hammy and Rambo and these guys that have lived in multiple markets and love AFL and NRL the same.
Yeah.
Okay. We obviously don't, but we enjoy NRL more than
we tolerate
the average AFL fan. We tolerate it. But the thing is that is for me the benchmark. The other thing is, I will say this. The refs seem to have found their whistle the last few years in Origin. I think they're trying to drive it to a mass market. I feel like it's not quite as brutal as it once was.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. The bottom line is, Kane, as much as I love you, mate, you got this one completely wrong and that tells me it was rage bait. There is 100%. No way he believes that, because if you watch Origin...
There's no way you could say that's one of the most... Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Our closest thing during the season is Anzac Day, I believe, as a game, which is fantastic. Origin's bigger than Anzac Day to their code. There would be players that would rather win
an Origin,
wearing their Origin.
I know NRL fans that almost would prefer New South Wales, because obviously they've had a bit of they won last time, but they've had a bit of a bad run. When the Queensland team were going through that massive dominance, I knew people from New South Wales that supported, Parramatta or whatever, and they wanted the Blues to win more than their own club.
I did have
a
mate. So Queensland is all the time linked to the Broncos. I had a mate that was Broncos and Queensland, and I go, what do you enjoy more? You've had success on both sides. He goes, well, now I'd rather a Broncos one because we haven't had success in a bit of time now. But historically, Origin's sort of like it's our whole state, and we're against them. That's the whole thing, is that they were against... North Queensland came in, Gold Coast came in, I understand that. The Dolphins came in. That's all fine.
But for a while there.
But for a while, it was just Brisbane. So it was literally the whole state was Brisbane. So winning Origin was so important because they had so many other teams in New South Wales, and it was a New South Wales run comp. So it was like, yeah, Brisbane was too, but you're running this competition, but we're better than you.
Yeah, 100%. No, I agree.
Great call.
Moving on quickly, we've got a betting. There was a call out that we need to do more of a betting segment. We haven't done it in a while. Sure.
Damn.
I know. I guess we better do it.
Damn. We're so sorry.
It's tough because we record on a Tuesday morning, but there are markets live that we can get into, and I'm happy to open the batting. So look, I'm going to be a little bit. I'm probably going to be a little bit more targeted and give. I guess you could call it a best bet, but it's still at an okay price. And you're going to kind of give a little bit more of we're going to call it more of a party time bet from you, Wallley. I'm just going to dial in to Friday night's game of AFL. I think any chance or any time you get the Lions at the Brisbane Lions at $2.32 in any head-to-head market, you need to take it. I understand they're playing the Crows. I understand the Crows are in good form. They're coming off a good win and that it's in Adelaide, but the way the Lions get up for big games, they've proven that against the Hawks, and then they've had games where they've been a little bit less focused against lesser opponents. I think this is one of the ones where the Lions go, we're engaged, we're locked in, we're going to have a genuine crack here. The Crows coming off a 6-day break. The Lions will have had 8 days after their Thursday night win against the Bombers last week. I just feel like they're primed for a big moment. I think $2.32 is a price I'd take every day of the week. They could even firm into $2.10, $2.15 by the time Friday rolls around and people actually realise the price. But I'm saying it on Tuesday, and that's the bet that I think will go into a little targeted sort of 3-4 leg multi for the weekend, but my best bet leading into the weekend. As things stand, I'm sure there'll be player props that come out that I like a little bit more, but they're just simply not out on Tuesday, so that's the one I'm going for.
Yeah, I'm going to give something that I think will happen, and then I'm going to give a bet that I've been able to put on now. Okay. So I'm going to give something I think happened. They're not out yet, and this is what I wanted to lead with, and I haven't been able to find it at all on any bookmaker. And apologies if I've missed any, but Jesse Hogan to fill his boots against Port Adelaide. He was held goalless against Richmond. This is a guy that may just be the best key forward in the comp, although Jez is now. Yep. We've always said Jez is the best player. That can contend for the Coleman, but pure key forward, maybe it's Jesse Hogan, maybe it's Kerno. But at the moment, Jez is obviously making the case just to be all of that. But Jesse Hogan against Port Adelaide, who historically have given up many, many goals to key forwards, for me, just suggests it's an absolute bet. They're playing at their home away from home. It ticks every box for me. I'm actually just seeing now. I just thought of one other book that may have it. No, it's nowhere. So what I thought I would do. So that is make sure you involve that. What I thought I would do. I had a look here, and what I had a look at is I looked at teams that are just going no good, that are not playing well. And they're playing a team that maybe aren't great, but that team you're getting a far better price. And I multied them up. First one is Richmond at home to beat Sydney at $2.71.
Like that,
They beat them last year. Richmond are going well. They are playing good footy. They will look at this and go, we can win this. And we lost last week. We don't need to win. We don't want to win too many, but we can definitely win. Then I looked down onto Sunday. And I thought, fuck it. If I'm having a go, I'm having a go. West Coast look like they're actually trying something and putting effort in. North Melbourne are a rabble. I'm taking the $2.37 on West Coast.
Is it in Bunbury or something like that? It's not.
That's exactly right. So the game has been sold to WA.
It's. I think I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I think I know what you're going to say next as well.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm going to say. Essendon's going to beat Carlton.
$2.80. I cannot believe that price.
So we're talking about three teams that are going no good to win away from home.
Love it.
We're saying Sydney playing away from home. I'll clarify that. Three teams that are going no good playing away from home. So Sydney having to come to Melbourne and play against Richmond. West Coast getting to play North Melbourne in the West. And then Carlton Essendon, well, that's a Melbourne game. That's 100% fine. The price is $18.
And if you throw my Brisbane Lions head to head, it's actually 41.
There you go. Well, there you go. We can't. I don't know what else we can do for you.
That's worth a tenner.
That is, or as Hammy used to say, throw a Stewie diver on that.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. That's good. Just a little, and don't have to take all that. You can take some of these individually. We're just trying to give you a little bit of inspiration for the weekend ahead, which is very good. So I like that. Wallley, before we go.
Yeah.
Ponderings.
Oh, I love it.
Back in a big way. Patto actually sent me 4 through. I'm only going to use 1.
Great.
It's going to be an interesting one for you here. I don't know what you're going to say to this. Yeah.
I never know what's going on with this. These are the one things we don't share in production meeting. I just see.
No, I don't share. Look,
production
it's
meeting.
Also quite. Yeah, it's also we do have a production meeting, by the way. It's also quite funny because he sent through 4, but I'm using.
Are you banking someone? He's on fire.
They're all very different.
There you go.
But I'm going to show one here. So it's an old one, but it re-emerged in an unusual setting at a funeral wake. Someone told me my flashlight was on in my phone. It was post-funeral and not during an inappropriate time or anything like that, but it just reinforced that it's the modern-day version of spinach in between your teeth or your fly open. People just cannot help themselves telling you that. I don't think anyone has ever not said it to someone yet. So the flashlight is what he's saying, and he's emphasising the point by saying that at a funeral wake, someone has mentioned it to him.
Different take.
Mm.
I agree. I think that this is the opposite to those. You are a 50. If you've got spinach in your teeth, you're 50-50 being told.
Yeah.
You are
maybe
50.
Even less.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. The fly. Yep.
Yeah. Well, mate, you don't do the fly because it makes it look like you're looking down at someone's crutch.
Someone's crutch. So that one there. And by the way, Patto, the fly's still the fly. You can't be walking around with your fly open like your phone light on and your fly different. Spinach in the teeth, I agree to a level, but. Yeah, you are 50-50 on someone actually telling you if you got something in your teeth.
Maybe even less.
Yeah, you are. It has to be a good. You've either got to have it's a good mate, but one of your good mates might just go fuck it. I'm gonna leave that there for him and wait until he starts talking to a girl.
Yeah,
that there's that as well. But yeah, it's true. It's 100%. But
the funeral wake's interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's set. Like, I think it's one of those ones where you get more often than not, you'll be told that your torch is on, your flashlight, whatever you want to call it, in your on your phone. But at that setting, I don't know if it's it's interesting. It's awkward.
Okay, but he's saying during the actual service, no. But if you wake,
at the wake, though.
You be seeing it through your pants? Would that be?
Yeah, must be like black pants in the pocket.
Is it appropriate to have your phone out and be on your phone at a funeral wake?
I don't think it's. Oh, look, it's more appropriate than at the service. But
have you ever watched anything on your phone in a church or a service that you shouldn't have been?
Nah. What do you mean by that? I should? As in, like, I just shouldn't have been doing it. Or I was watching something inappropriate.
No, something you shouldn't have, like a horse race or something.
No, have you?
Yeah. I was at an event. And it was a christening, and the brother of the dad, so beforehand he knew who I was, and he goes, mate, I've got something for you. And he gave me this tip. It was going around. It was in the country. It was on a Sunday, and so we both had the phones here. And at one, and I was like this, and I look over, and he's just turned his head and just giving me a thumbs up.
What was the price?
Like $4.50.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't huge, but I had a little minute
go. Fucking great.
I was like shaking her head. And I got up. Thanks, mate.
The turn and
thanks, mate.
The thumbs up. Yeah, the thumbs up.
But he turns. He's like that, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah, he's fucking pro.
He's on me after this. So look, and that's why I asked.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's
I've never done that.
That'd be probably be worse. It's like when we're in the field and
Watto
had to be told to if you're gonna watch the races when you're in slips, turn the volume down. Poor batsman.
Very good.
Anyway.
Well, you were great, Wallley.
Likewise.
Enjoy the week. I'm looking forward to commencing my knitting journey once you give me the utensils to use, and hopefully no frogging on my part. But as always, and good luck. Sorry, good luck Saturday.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Don't get injured. Well, do get injured. Be funny.
Oh, there you go. Good for the content. And make sure you subscribe and follow us on YouTube.
Yes, we've said that twice or 3 times now, so surely that's enough for people to get it.
Subscribe, and share
YouTube. Very good.
That's where you want it.
As always, go Saints.
Go Hawks.
chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.